Hello and welcome to today's recording of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Today we are eventually going to get into Sequence 8, but first we have to finish taking over the city of London. While we do so, what we're going to go through and we're going to, as we take London, we're going to talk about the history of the city. Once we finally get into the story, we're going to talk about the man I hope to have spoken about yesterday, who was, I believe his name was pronounced Duleep Singh, who was the last Maharaja of India. And as we do that, I hope to have some fun, and it's probably going to take a while. So what I will do is in the description below, we will put a timestamp to where we start um, the story missions, the sequence missions. So until then, I hope you enjoy, and let's have some fun. Actually, I might be very wrong. It looks like we might be able to get out with just doing one more burrow, which will be super crazy. And since I only have to do that one, let's go hop up there. This might go extremely well for us. Alright, so let's see if we can... Nope. Oh, we can't. We only need to conquer one more burrow. That is great. So this will go quicker than I anticipate. That makes me happy.
Got something to tell you.
Alright, so we're going to jump off this train here and go do that one last mission over there. And as we do it, we are going to talk about the city of London. That's actually closer than I thought. Is there a way out over there, or do I have to go all the way around? But I can get out up here. I cannot. Wow. Alright, well, the city of London. Recent discoveries have actually indicate that the area that has been populated all the way back to the Bronze Age. Pieces of a bridge were found in 1993 that when they were radiocarbon dated back to sometime between 1750 and 1285 BC. And in 2010, pieces of a large wooden structure. Oh, is this all the city of... Is this Thames? Is this a river? Because that'll be sad. No, this is not the river. Alright, let's see how this goes. Nice guy, right? Alright.
It'll be all right.
You saved us!
Up or down? Up. There's two up and one down. Actually, we're gonna go down first because that down is already here.
I see someone.
Stop talking.
We got trouble. Don't pull any buttons.
So in 2010, they found pieces of a large timber structure that was dated between 4800 and 4500 BC. Where's the group of kids? Weren't they just right here? Or is everybody up? Everybody was up. That did not go the way I wanted it to. Excuse me.
I admire your courage, mate.
Hush now.
Thank you, mister.
One more there.
Look sharp.
Thanks very much.
And those guys. And then this place is done.
I'm right here.
Ta very much.
Okay, so the first major settlement, though, would not be founded until the Romans invaded in 43 AD. This town would be known as Londinium and would last until 61 AD when Queen Boudica burned it to the ground after attacking with her Iceni tribe. Romans would rebuild Londinium and prosper, becoming the capital of the Roman province of Britannia. That would be the year 100. And at the height of the century, it would have a population of around 60,000 people. Roman rule would collapse in the early 5th century. And that would leave the walled city of Londinium abandoned. Around 500, an Anglo-Saxon settlement known as Ludenwick would develop slightly west of the old city. While it would grow to a major port starting around somewhere in the 820s, the Vikings would assault the city repeatedly. The cop has no care that I'm climbing that wall. This would establish, the Vikings would establish Danelaw, whose boundary would stretch roughly from London to Chester. Area would be agreed upon by the Danish warlord Guthrum and the West Saxon king Alfred the Great in 886. By the 11th century, London was the largest town in England, and Westminster Abbey would be rebuilt in the Romanesque style. That would be done by the crowned King of England. Oh, I'm sorry, that is wrong. It would be done by King Edward the Confessor. And after the Battle of Hastings, William, Duke of Normandy, would be crowned King of England Christmas Day in 1066 within the newly completed Westminster Abbey. I'm going to go up and around. I'm going to just go over and around. So, William would also construct the Tower of London starting in 1078. Yeah, 1078. And William II would begin building Westminster Hall. This building would become the basis of the Palace of Westminster.
Serves you right. Join us, Jacob. We're about to set out to fight the Blighters for the territory.
As the government would move around the country with the English court, it would grow in size and become increasingly fixed in one place. And for the most part, that would be in the city of Westminster.
London's so-called Bloody Nora has challenged you to a gang war. All weapons permitted. Good luck to both sides.
Alright, let's kill Bloody Nora.
The Blighters have nothing on us! I got him!
Oh, that's weird. That was really weird. I wanted to aim my pistol at her and just fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Jacob and Evie Fry. And as of this moment, you all work for us.
Ooh, new sequence unlocked. That is great to know. So we're gonna go straight to it. That makes me happy. We don't have to worry about doing all those extra things. Let's fast travel to the train and see what's going on. So as the court would stay in Westminster, the royal treasury would move to the Tower of London. The city of London, though, would continue to be the largest and principal commercial center. And by 1300, the city population would grow to nearly 100,000. Although the Black Death would hit the city in the mid-14th century, killing nearly a third of the population. During the Tudor period, the Reformation would produce a gradual shift to Protestantism, and much of London's property would pass from the church into private ownership. This would lead to accelerated trade and business within the city.
A letter?
For me.
For me?
Within 1475, the Hanseatic League would set up its major contour or trading post of England within London and called it Steelyard.
A dinner invitation.
And with whom are you dining this evening?
Maxwell Roth.
The leader of the Blighters. You're not going?
Of course not.
And there is no Evie mission right now. That's very interesting. So this outpost would exist until 1852, when the Hanseatic cities of Lübeck, Bremen, and Hamburg sold the property to the Southeastern Railway. When the Netherlands reopened English shipping in January 1565, commercial shipping would grow within the founding of the Royal Exchange and later the East India Company. London would become the principal North Sea port, with a population raising to about 225,000 by 1605. The 16th century, William Shakespeare would live in London during time when there was a lot of hostility towards theater. The Tudor period would end in 1603, and London was still very compact. And then you had the Gunpowder Plot of November 5th, 1605, which would be a failed attempt on King James I while he was in Westminster. Let's go up. London would be surrounded by a wall known by the lines of communication. This would be it's essentially the lines were built by 20,000 people in just under 2 months, and it happened during the English Civil Wars. English Civil War, there's only one. Well, there's multiple, but the War of Roses and things like that. But that's a whole nother thing. These fortifications would fail their only test when the new model army entered London in 1647. and it would to be leveled by Parliament later that same year. So this army comes in, and Parliament brings in their army and says, "Yeah, no, you're not staying." Disease would end up plaguing London in the early 17th century, culminating in the Great Plague of 1665 to 1666. This would kill about a fifth of the population, and then it was followed by the Great Fire of London in 1666. This would end up destroying most of the wooden buildings, and rebuilding the city would take almost 10 years. Over 10 years, actually. And it would end up being overseen by the Surveyor of London, Robert Hooke. Am I going up or down? Down, it seems. So this will bring us to 1708, when St. Paul's Cathedral would be completed. Alright, let's hop in here and see what's going on.
I'm this close to coming over there. I had a person come and tell.
Better check the back.
So during the Georgian era, new districts such as Mayfair would form along the with new bridges that cross the River Thames. The Port of London would expand during this time, as would the financial center itself.
I'm here to see Mr. Roth.
Weapons?
No, thank you. I've got my own.
You should be on the stage, sir. This way.
In 1762, King George III would acquire Buckingham House itself, and it would be enlarged over the next 75 years. Crime would rise so much of the 18th century that the Bow Street Runners were established in 1759 as a professional police force. Around 1817, the Royal Navy.
Ah, our honored guest has arrived. Come, sit. I've had my eye on you for some time. I find your heroics in battling the great Crawford Starrick quite magnificent.
I've been picking off your soldiers one by one. Doesn't that make you angry?
On the contrary, surprise is a spice of life. Now, Mr. Starrick, that's a different story. I'm drowning in directives, all terribly pouring. Let's say we work together and bring him down.
I'm not so sure about that.
My friend, if I fail to provide you with the chance to cause Starrick some pain, well, you can charge into this theater and kill me yourself.
What do you get out of all this?
The chance to have a little fun with the bravest man in London.
You have a deal.
Lewis, my carriage. Shall we?
He is crazy. So, the Royal Navy, around 1817, would become the world's leading war fleet, acting as a serious deterrent to potential economic adversaries.
Well, you don't expect me to go alone, do you? Take the reins.
Yeah, where we going?
Driver, to St. Pancras. And don't spare the horses.
I thought you and Starrick would be fighting for the same ends. What happened?
Ah, you know, he required my services to train his gang leaders, but the man is dreadful.
You don't say.
Freedom, Jacob. Stealing that is far more than a sin. It denies us our humanity.
Right you are. And St. Pancras will ease our suffering?
The station contains a large shipment of explosives to be dispatched to Starrick and Co.
And you intend to steal it?
What? No. I intend to blow it up. Yes, this will do nicely.
I'll smack the attitude out of you, you hear me?
All right. So between 1831 and 1925, London would be the world's largest
There's a
city.
train parked inside St. Pancras.
Then I'm to do away with Starrick's merchandise, leaving chaos in my wake?
Why not, Jacob? Why not? As we speak, the up train is headed towards us. That may help you enter the station unseen.
As long as it remains on the tracks.
I'd say good luck, but you don't need it. I shall make certain any reinforcements from Starrick are kept away from the station.
All right. So is there a train coming by, or can I hop on and just ride out? Ride it out. Choo choo. So with it being the largest city and overcrowding conditions, this would lead to cholera epidemics, claiming over 2,000 lives between 1848 and 1866. The ring traffic would lead to the creation of the first local urban rail network, ring. Man, I totally misread my own notes. Again, that's a little time, doesn't it? The rising traffic would lead to the creation of the first local urban rail network, and the Metropolitan Board of Works would oversee the infrastructure expansion. Locate and destroy explosives. What's going to be the best way to do that? Yeah, you're going to die. Oh, man.
I won't miss. Already lost.
You missed, buddy. Oh, they're inside the board.
Tough guys disappeared. He's gonna run.
Go, 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 go.
Suppose I'll head back to work then. Someday you blighters will understand that I'm doing this for your own good.
Stand up on the back of me neck.
Bust him. Hell.
Though it would be abolished in 1889 when the London City Council was created. That's talking about the Metropolitan Board. Oh. No, you don't.
you down. Be ashamed to stop now.
We'd have been better off if we had these explosives months ago.
That's a fact. My brother is dead because of a rock attack.
It's unfortunate for you. Pretty unfortunate for that guy too. Bye. During both World Wars, oh, I didn't see you there. You can't see me. So during both World Wars, German planes would bomb the city. Right after World War II, in 1948, London would host the Summer Olympics in the original Wembley Stadium, while it was still recovering from the war. Also, during this time, London would take a large number of immigrants, making it one of the most diverse cities in the world. The Great Smog of 1952 would lead to the Clean Air Act of 1956. Starting in the 1960s, England would become London actually would become a center for the youth culture, which would be exemplified by the swinging London subculture. Okay, I got no time for you, mate.
One shipment left.
You're dead. Can't be my better if you're dead. And there's a door. Good.
Now to find somebody to drive this hunk of metal.
Looks like I've already killed most of them.
Get your bleeding hands off me! What do you think you're up to?
Hush now, please. Do be quiet, sir. No need to make a fuss.
What do you want from me?
I just need you to keep the engine stoked.
All right, I'll help you. Don't hurt me.
Think of me as another passenger. I just happen to have a rather large blade pointed at your back.
I think I made a mistake. I don't think he can drop down and then go back up. Oh, but we can come up and over, right? Nope. Nope, nope. Nope, nope. Alright, let's try this again. So this swinging London subculture would be associated with Kings Road, Chelsea, and Carnaby. All three of those streets. London would be subjected to bombings from the Provisional IRA for 2 decades. That would it essentially started with Which bombing was it? Give me a second and I will tell you. Oh, those two are going to be a pain in my butt. It started with the bombing of the Old Bailey in 1973. It's going to be over one more. In the 1980s, the population of London would be around 6.8 million, going from the principal ports would move downstream, and in 1986, Greater London Council would be abolished, leaving London without a central administration until 2000, when it was restored with the Greater London Authority. Oh, we're pretty much home free here. There we go.
Would you be so kind as to get some steam?
Splendid! Starrick will be on his knees in no time. My hat is offered to you. Apologies, I must run. Do come see me again.
Makes you wonder what his game is, doesn't it? So this brings us up to the new millennium, where we would see the Millennium Dome, London Eye, and Millennium Bridge all being constructed to celebrate the beginning of the 21st century. There'd be a series of terrorist attacks, unfortunately. And this would include 3 underground trains and a double-decker bus on July 7th, 2005. In 2008, be named one of the world's 3 most influential global cities. And in 2012, London would be the first city to host the Summer Olympic Games on 3 separate occasions. I don't remember what the second year was, but of course we talked about the 1948 and now the 2012 Olympic Games. Man, 72 maybe? No, 70. I just don't remember. And finally, in January 2015, the population was estimated to be at 8.63 million people, which is the city's highest population since 1939. And that is a quick rundown, essentially, of the city of London. After we get up to the roof here, we will talk about the Maharaja that I wanted to talk about yesterday, but with the missing hour, did not get the opportunity to. Alright, here we go. Up and over. So, his name was Duleep Singh, and I'm pretty sure I mispronounced it. Because as we know from my previous videos, sometimes I can't even pronounce my own language. He would be born September 6th, 1838, after the death of his father, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, on June 27th, 1839. He would live quietly with his mother, Jind Kaur, at Jammu, under the protection of Vazir Raja Dahin Singh. They'd be recalled to Lahore in 1843 after the assassinations of his brother Maharaja Sher Singh and his vizier Nanan Singh. On September 16th, at the age of 5, Duleep would be proclaimed Maharaja, and his mother would serve as regent. I don't think I've ever seen something like this. And that gunshot didn't get them to quit. That's funny.
Right, I'm coming to deal with you.
Well, that's what we have to say about that.
Jacob. He is beautiful, isn't he? I planned a perfect second outing for us.
Have you?
There's borrowing to be done. 3 of Starrick's henchmen are about to disappear.
Oh, you sly devil.
Oh, and I'm coming along this time. There is no sense in giving you all the glory. Off to my carriage we go. Lewis!
Luis, my carriage! So, after the British would win the first Anglo-Sikh War, is it Sikha? On April, I'm sorry, not April, it was March 9th, 1846.
These cowardly fools under Starrick have built their own prisons. It's a dreadful waste.
They could be building gangs instead.
No. Why build when you can ebb and flow like the sea? I would not deign to pin them down.
Oh, you wouldn't, would you? What about your bird?
It's not building anything. I dare say I shall never tire of the National Gallery.
Why does Starrick interest himself with art?
He's hired a fiendishly talented woman, one Hattie Cadwallader, to procure works for him. She has excellent taste.
We're kidnapping her for the sin of being Starrick's collector.
Oh, my dear, no. We are kidnapping her, not because she loves art, but because she finances Starrick's enterprises by selling it. One must never mix art and money.
Wait for me with the carriage. I'll pay. Bring your carriage around and wait for the cargo. I shan't be very long. Someone around here must know Miss Hattie Cadwallader. I'm looking for Miss Hattie Cadwallader.
Ain't seen her. I knows what she's been up to, though.
And what's that?
Friggin' art, sir. She pinched a statue not far from here.
Interesting.
The statue must be around here somewhere. Hey, Smalley. Know anything about what happened here?
I saw
who pinched it, sir.
Miss Cadwallader?
She hides down the sewers, sir.
Oh, that'll be fun. Thought that was her down there.
Of course it's sewers.
Do not kill anyone inside the target location.
Why the bloody sewers?
Alright. This isn't good.
You dare to do such a thing?
Eh. So after this war, the British would actually leave him as Maharaja, but they would remove his mother as regent and replace her with a council of regency. She would later be imprisoned and exiled, and it would be over 13 years before he would see her again. After the British... Oh, I just kicked her.
Tell Mr. Starrick his next delivery's on its way. And tell him too that I'm growing tired of these working conditions.
Wasn't Starrick who sent me.
Then who?
Maxwell Roth sends his regards.
So after the British annexed the Punjab on March 29th, 1849, after the Second Anglo-Sikh War, he would be disposed and put in the care of Dr. John Logan. Let's see, how am I going to get past the popo with her? Doesn't go that way. I just run around. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Just to be on the safe side.
What's happening?
Oh good, those aren't cops. I thought they were gonna be cops. So Duleep would be sent to Fathagarth on December 21st, 1849, without the ability to meet any Indian except for his in private, except for his trusted servants.
What a pleasant surprise.
You'll be hearing from Mr. Starrick, Roth.
I look forward to it.
Why the Alhambra?
Every good criminal needs a place to invest his ill-gotten gains. And what's better than distracting the world with a little light entertainment while you do so?
Oh, come now. You can't tell me you don't enjoy the triumph of a well-received play. The plaudits and praise, the reviews.
I enjoy being entertained, Jacob. If one of the productions pleases... Ah, the park. The dwelling place of Starrick's head of security, one Benjamin Raffles. Those who cross him tend to disappear without warning.
Sounds like we'll be fast friends.
Be careful. His guards are never far away.
Keep moving. Steady on. Let's go.
Yeah, this is fun for me.
Walk on, girl.
Seems like though every time I make a single round, they regenerate their health.
Steady on. That's a girl.
Yep, they do.
That's the way. Whoa, easy.
I'm gonna knock your teeth in. Just try to stop me.
Didn't expect that to happen though, with him being jumping around like that. So, per British policy, Duleep would be forced to convert to Christianity before he turned 15. In May, he's in there, mate. Did I just break the game?
Who's a good horse?
I broke it because he's knocked out, didn't I?
Steady on. That's a girl. Slow down now.
Maybe this will help. Sometimes when you cause a claim to glitch like that, you can, I guess, Enrose Bartlett.
In this city.
Where is she? I don't want to go up. These are the horns. Alright, so let's see if that fixed the glitch. So in May 1584, he'd be, is when he would leave, India, arriving to Britain later within that same year. Nope, I didn't fix it at all. Not quite sure how we can fix that, dude. Can I roll back? Reload last checkpoint. When he arrived, Queen Victoria and Prince Albert would take a liking to him, eventually being invited to stay at the royal family with the royal family at Osborne. While there, the Queen would sketch him playing with her children, and the Prince would photograph him, all while the court artist Franz Xavier Winterhalter would make his portrait. He'd express a wish to return to India, but instead it was suggested he take a tour of continental Europe with Sir John Spencer Logan and his wife. On his return in 1855, alright, let's try this a different way. He would join what is now called the Royal Photographic Society, and he would be given an annual pension officially under the ward of Loggins, who would lease Castle Menzine in Perthshire, Scotland, for him.
Maybe you'll change your attitude. I'll crush you like a bloody insect. Turn around. Stop right off. Nice bloody day. Where you going? You a Don't let him breathe.
Well, that's a new double kill. I don't think I've seen that one either. Two, did I get three? Nope.
This is your last bout. Enjoy.
This guy's just sprinting around the corner.
What's that?
All right.
What's this all about?
Is he just running around that little block? Because that'd be funny.
I'll break you in half.
So he would write, Duleep would write to his mother
Did Rob send you?
in Kathmandu.
Did Rob send you? The villain.
You have your villains mixed up, Mr. Raffles. The man you work for is the real villain here.
Funny. So writing his mother in Kathmandu, he'd suggest that she join him in Great Britain. This letter, of course, would end up being intercepted in India by the British, and it would never join her, never reach her. He tried again, but this time he used a courier.
How very good to see you again.
Get to hell, Roth.
It's into the back with you, then.
Who's this Lewis that works for you?
A bit of an odd fish, isn't he? Came to me a few years past.
He's very solemn.
But always so polite. And he has many other talents.
Who am I looking for?
Chester Swinehorn. A copper by day and snitch by night. Remove him from the pack, and you cut Starrick's ties to the police force.
Must be good at what he does to keep the charade going for so long.
He is indeed, dear boy.
That's the way. Let's go. Easy. All these bobbies give me goose flesh.
Welcome to Scotland Yard.
I've got my eye on that chap. You'll be sorry.
Oh, I thought that was an open window. There's one.
What's he up to, I wonder? This cannot be tolerated. Where do you think you're going?
Upstairs is where I'm going.
Huh? If you'd like to spend the night
That's what I have to say about you.
Now, Swineborn. Let's not make a scene.
What? Where'd he go? Where's the...
I found it!
Oh, but I am.
Where are you taking me?
A friend would like to say a quick how do you do.
For a quiet moment in London, I suppose.
Excuse me.
Sir, may I help you?
Stay right there, sir. I'll be right over.
Oh, I'm gonna get clubbed in the face, aren't I? How is it I can't use a full clip to take out 2 policemen? No such thing as... Ah, I gotta start over. Grr. So, since the courier that he used to try to talk to his letter to his mother got intercepted, he would go on his own. Under the cover of a letter from Logan, he would write to the British resident in Kathmandu, which would lead the British to decide she was no longer a threat, and she was allowed to see her son on January 16th, 1861, in Calcutta, and would return with him to England. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Let me... Oh, my shoulder popped. Be organized here. Crack my body because it's getting stiff. Try this again.
I'm not letting him out, mister.
I'm not going to deal with you.
Keeping an eye on him. Please behave like a civilized person. Off with you. He's restricted.
No, not that one. that one.
Looks familiar.
Huh? What?
Now, Swineborn. Let's not make a scene.
You're not going to get away with this.
Oh, but I am.
Where are you taking me?
A friend would like to say a quick how do you do.
Wish I could just throw him out the window and then pick him up at the bottom. But then, of course, he'd be dead. And I need him rather much alive. Three guards at that door? Guess I'll take him out the back way then. Alright. We can get him out to the side here. And we'll just run around the yard. There we go. So in 1858, Duleep he would be living in Auckland and would be known for his lavish lifestyle, his shooting parties, and love of dressing in Highland costume. Soon earning the nickname the Black Prince of Perthshire. In June 1861, he'd be knighted into the Order of the Star of India.
It's been a while.
You've really let yourself go. Shame. Now, it's into the back with you.
Who's a good horse?
You are. After a few years, he would purchase a 17,000-acre country estate, and eventually he would transform it into a game preserve. Here he would gain the reputation of the fourth best. I can't say best. He would gain the reputation of the fourth best shot in England. Throughout his exile,
Excellent work. Do come find me at the Elabra. I have more amusements planned for us.
gotta switch ends. This one's starting to hurt my ear. Throughout his exile, he'd try and learn more about Sikhism, and eager to try to return to India. Eventually, he would be able to re-establish contact with his cousin Sardar Thakur Singh Sandhawala. Let's see, where are we going now? Back up there? Might as well run, right? That one. That one. We got a number 4. That's what I thought. Alright, we'll grab this one. See if I can upgrade. Okay, I'm at 8, so I can go up to level 8 stuff. Not quite. Unless I swapped over to Curry, but not really doing that great. No new gauntlet. Model 3. Dang it, I hit the wrong button. No new belts. We're going to keep this outfit. We're going to keep that color. Gears and tools. Nothing black. Nothing black I want to do. Well, since we got some cash, let's check. Nope. Nope. Eh. That one's one worth buying. Alright, let's do this stuff. Nope. 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 Alright. We'll worry about Evie next time we switch over her, which I don't think will be this sequence, to be honest. Alright, so let's try to finish talking about Duleep, who I think actually is that. Oh no, those are Darwin memories. I wonder if they're either Jay or Robert Topping, Karl Marx. Who's N? Ned. Dickens. Must not be there. I know I have the last Maharaja pack. Excuse me. So, anyway. Duleep would leave no, I'm sorry, not Duleep. Sardar, his cousin, would leave for India on September 28, 1884, with his sons Narendir and Gurdit Singh, and a Sikh Granthi Pratrap Singh Ghani. Ghani? Yeah. The British government would decide in 1886 against Duleep returning to India or embracing Sikhism. Despite protests from the Indian office, Duleep would set sail for on March 30th, 1886. Though he would be intercepted and arrested in Aden, Yemen. Though he would receive an informal reconversion ceremony in Aden, it was far less grand and symbolic than it would have been in India. Oh, I want up. Right there, that's what I want. Oh, I missed it. After he would be forced to return to Europe, he'd pass in Paris on October 2nd, 1893, aged 55. Having only seen India after the age of 15 on two separate occasions, once in 1860, I'm sorry, uh, to bring his mother to England, and the other in 1863 to cremate her body. His wish for his body to return in India was not honored for fear of unrest. Given the symbolic value his funeral might cause in the growing resentment of British rule. His body would be laid to rest in Elvenden Church, according to Christian rites, under the supervision of the Indian Office. It's basically because he was the line of the Indian monarchs. He didn't get what he wanted in death because they were afraid of what his death and burial would mean for a negative British light.
Ah! This way, my dear. I've something to show you. Hop in.
Where are we going?
One of Starrick's workshops, where they build weapons for his army.
Cool.
When the world is full of nasty things, we must tear those things apart. A man like Starrick builds a world around his own desires. So we lose the ability to dream for ourselves. Therefore, we must
Strike.
precisely. No matter the cost, every second of hesitation allows Starrick time to build.
Oh, you're done talking? All right.
Easy, girl. Easy.
That actually is all of the stuff I wanted to talk about today. I was worried I was going to get through it, and especially after finding out I didn't need to do all the barrows. So I am pretty happy and pretty surprised at it. So let's see exactly what Maxwell Roth here is making Jacob do. It seems like he's running him around by his nose.
What's funk in you?
You must see the potential, dear Jacob. This workshop is one of Starrick's. Set the dynamite and let's blow it to atoms. Together.
Side note, Starrick was a green, or not Starrick, Roth here was green in the last mission. Basically saying he was an ally, and now he's marked all yellow like he is a saying that he is a
He doesn't belong here! Stop
oh, come on, that wasn't, I didn't hit her with my blade. Alright, I guess that just ends all that. We'll just go about killing these folks. Excuse me. You won't.
Is that the fastest
Alright. One.
That's one.
I can count myself, thank you there, dear Jacob. Not the person.
I see him!
Congratulations.
You can run, boy, but you can't hide.
Well, I'm not trying to hide, so...
He's entered my line of sight, ready to...
You shot me. That's for shooting me. Excuse me.
Where the hell are you?
Do.
Set.
That bloody sniper's up here!
Oh.
Oh, you won't escape again! Slippery little turd!
You just call me a turd?
And done. All rigged up.
Perfect! Let's put our plan into action. Stand back!
You mean your plan?
Ready? Wait! Whatever for?
There are children in there.
Jacob, my dear. Starrick uses child labor to manufacture goods. We must put an end to his production line.
But not like this.
Why not? I can do whatever I damn well please. Soon, you will understand what it is to be free, as I am. Light 'em up, boys!
Well, she's a woman, technically. Hey! Why does he have a Kukuri? I'm not running a
What the
Kukuri.
hell are you doing?
We're not playing games anymore, Roth.
No, we're not.
Yes, your shift is over early. How nice. Now out you go. I'll catch you, fire! Found it! If that's your best effort, you may as well lay down now. Give it up, you filthy crap! Keep us busy!
Oh, give my regards to the devil.
Do-do-do.
Let's see how warm your innards are.
And you're already dead, so... Not gonna happen.
A gift, sir, from Mr. Roth.
Thank you, Lewis.
You should be warned, Mr. Fry, that when Roth is angry with one, he generally brings suffering to many.
My dearest Jacob, alas, it seems our adventures together have come to a close. Although our time together was brief, it's left a lasting mark. I wish you well in all your future endeavors. Cordially, Maxwell. Post-scriptum. I'm putting on a show this evening. All of London will be there. Enclosed, please find your invitation.
I have to admit, though, I did not know what PS stood for until that letter in this game. I did not realize that PS stood for Postscriptum. So, you learn something every day with everything, really. And if you're watching my videos, you might learn more than just that. Maybe. Maybe everything I've said you've already known. And if that's the case, you know a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff through a lot of different eras of human history. Alright, I don't know why you stopped. Oh, we're already here. Thank you. That's why you stopped. Good horse.
Masked over here!
This way to the Alhambra.
Hello, elf. Oh, I have full everything. That's a shot.
Shove off. Oh, get ya.
Maskers, this way.
That man. People at Mask Center.
The doors will open shortly. Please don your masks. Please put on your mask and join this group.
Masks only.
Isn't that who I'm supposed to
The
loot
doors
from?
will open shortly. Please don your masks. I will escort the next group into the theatre shortly. At this entrance, please.
Okay. Loot a mask from Roth's guard near the music. Oh, I bet it has to be from someone other than
The
her.
doors will open shortly. Please don your masks.
Masks only. And I'm not your pal.
Why can't we go south?
I'm not gonna have to hurt you.
There we go. Not from the lady, from just a regular guard. And it's not like my top hat's gonna give me away or anything.
He's got some nerve.
You won't like it if I come over there!
May I ask the masked guests, let us enter the theatre for tonight's performance.
Let's do it again and think about what I said. Places, everyone.
Everyone ready? Then let's proceed.
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Ezio.
to the Alhambra Music Hall. Tonight, we have, for one night only, a very special performance of Corvus the Trickster. While some of the effects may be visceral and highly disturbing, do not be alarmed, my good people. Fear not. This is a purest form of entertainment. Tonight's performance immortalizes and is for the benefit of a young fellow very near and dear to my heart. Any concerns or complaints may be addressed to him. Jacob, dear boy, tonight is for you.
I don't know why I had to get up on the handrail to look around.
I'll be serving you this evening, gentlemen.
You're still here, love? Last time, I swear, you nearly poisoned us.
Scene 2, stand by!
Let me out! I need to lower the grid for the show!
They want another glass of the pale ale.
Just a minute, love.
Mr. Roth says he'll have me up there, on the stage.
We have a volunteer. A big round of applause for this brave, brave man. Our volunteer is about to die for you, Jacob.
Excuse me, love. Just looking for the lavatory.
Who's over there?
You lucky people are about to witness this gentleman being fired upon at point-blank range. Our performer will hit several targets placed around his head. Exciting, is it not? Will our honored guest go unharmed?
My lungs are just a bit congested.
No, that's right. You look very poorly.
We British are a hardy bunch. Let's put that hardiness to the test.
Don't come any closer! You're a bloody tiger! Not those teeth out!
Wish this lady would move a little bit faster.
This is no place for someone like me.
Oh, I felt... Bullseye!
I don't think I've ever watched her go through all of them,
They
so
want another glass of the pale ale.
we're gonna go ahead and see how this
Mr.
goes.
Roth says he'll have me up there, on the stage, before you know it.
I was just about my luck. You guys party in church or something? This neighborhood is falling apart. I think it's turning into
The flavor intensifies.
Alright,
the
she's
second
taking too much time.
The hunt, now a search for want rather than need.
Down. Back there. She's about to kill that one.
Here! What the fuck are you doing?
No respect just about my
There's too many people.
If he's not Roth,
Leaves a strange taste in your mouth, doesn't it? Like eating pork when expecting venison.
You're married to me. Keep your woman off me.
I know what's woman.
We found a suitably flat-headed gentleman for this one. You laugh, ladies and gentlemen, but I assure you that is the case. I have no doubt that you could hazard a guess as to what this one concerns, my friends. Our courageous participant hasn't even flinched. Standing a few
Alright.
feet away,
Not
our
too bad.
performer
That's a
expertly
daisy.
throws his
Tom
knife
watched it.
at the apple, slicing it in two. Will he or won't he?
Who is here?
Roth! Show yourself!
Alright, we're getting there. We're almost there.
I hope you have enjoyed your evening so far, ladies and gentlemen. I know I have. Now, before our final act, I would like to toast all you brave people who joined us tonight to celebrate life and death. Go on! Toast them! Your move, Jacob, my dear! Burn! Burn! Burn!
He's a bit crazy.
Over here, Jacob. Join me for the finale.
Probably not how I would have killed him using that rig, but it works.
Darling, what a night. The stuff of legends.
Why did you do it? All of it.
What? Snap a baby crow's neck between my thumb and forefinger. Slice to bits the ones you deem innocent. Keep the world in its divine, manic state. For the same reason, I do anything. Why not?
He reminds me of the Joker. Alright, it's time to get out of here.
Damn this place from hell to Hackney.
That is rough.
What a nightmare.
Need to get up. Where's the stairs? Guess I should have taken more of a
I'll never make it out alive.
look at what this place looked like, huh? And I didn't realize that running through the, of course, running through the fire is going to kill you. Duh. Why wouldn't it, right?
What a nightmare.
Nope. Probably south than I had anticipated going. But that might do, right?
Damn this place from hell to Hackney.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. That was what I was looking for the first time. All right, we're getting there. We're almost done with today.
Order has bred disorder. The sea rises to flood the pubs and extinguish the street lamps. Our city will die. Tupene has failed. Lucy has failed. Brudenell, Elliotson, Pearl. All have gone into the night. It is up to me now. The assassins have brought nature's fury into our homes. Men have become monsters, barreling toward us, teeth out. Our civilization must survive this onslaught. To prevent a return of the Dark Ages, I will start anew. London must be reborn.
That's prophetic.
The Peace of Eden is under Buckingham Palace. We've got all we need. Let's start planning our infiltration.
Hold on, better to get visual verification. If we're gonna move, we need to be 100% sure. We'll only get one shot before Otso Berg crashes down on us.
Gotta agree with Sean.
We'll position ourselves near the palace, but we'll wait for you to sync the genetic data before we move.
It's all up to you, Initiate.
You're late. Starrick is making his move. The Peace of Eden is somewhere inside Buckingham Palace.
Let him have it.
I've seen your handiwork across the city. Perhaps you should trust my judgment.
I've been killing Starrick's henchmen. What have you been doing? Let's ask Henry, shall we?
I have been repairing your mistakes. Too much haste is too little speed.
Don't you quote Father at me.
That's Plato. And I am sorry this doesn't involve anything you can destroy. Father was right, he never approved of your methods.
Father is dead!
Enough! I have just received word from my spies. At the palace ball tonight, Starrick plans to steal the Peace of Eden, and then eliminate all the heads of church and state.
Once more for old time's sake.
And then we're finished.
Agreed. So what's the plan?
Actually, we are going to let this play through.
Such an unexpected delight to visit you both. What is the news on the street?
Mrs. Disraeli, we have discovered that there is something inside Buckingham Palace that could threaten the...
What my sister's failing to say is that we require entrance into the ball tonight.
Impossible! Even if there were any invitation cards remaining, which there are not, someone of your lowly station...
If that damn fool Gladstone is attending this evening, they can have my card. Perfect. Then I'll go alone.
Mrs. Disraeli, if you would be kind enough to inform my darling brother of the location of the Gladstones' residence, perhaps he could use his considerable skills to commandeer their cards.
What fun! Did you hear that, Dizzy? We're going to pinch the Gladstones' invitations.
Thank you for volunteering me, sweet sister.
Oh, a pleasure, brother, dearest. Now, Mrs. Disraeli, if you would excuse me, I must visit with the Maharaja. It occurs to me that he may have a second set of plans to a certain vault.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's video. You get a little bit of heads up on what's coming tomorrow at the end of Jacob and Evie's story. So, with that being said, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, and you like the content that I bring as much as I have enjoyed bringing it to you, hit that like and subscribe button. Take a look at the links below in the description for my website and social media. And until next time, have a great night.